For our writing mini lesson, we're going to talk about comparing and contrasting using a Venn diagram. Using an organizer helps us to make our thinking clear. When we use a Venn diagram, we can look at how two things are the same and different. When we fill in a Venn diagram, we can use the book to help us find details. Lines should relate to each other. If you put something on one side, it should have a middle too. Let's compare and contrast two jobs from last week's book. At the top, for job 1, I filled in judge, and on job 2, I put jury. You can decide which jobs you would like to compare and contrast. Make sure you think about two jobs that are a little bit alike so that you can find some similarities. We're going to need at least 3 things that are the same, that goes in the middle, and things that are different that go on the side. So everything I type on this side will only relate to the judge. The things I type on this side will only relate to the jury. And whatever I write in the middle is the same for both. So when we think about a judge, on this side I put they work for money. And that was different than a jury because a jury volunteers. But both of these jobs help in the courthouse. So one is getting paid, one is volunteering, but both of them help in the courthouse. When we go across the line, all of these pieces match in some way. So when you go across, try to fill in on the left, in the middle, and on the right, kind of at the same time, so that all of these pieces go together. When I talk about the judge, I was thinking about, what is their role when they're working there? So I said the judge uses a gavel and leads the trial. I said both of them use chairs during a trial, and the jury will just sit and listen quietly during the trial. So all of these go together. The next line, I was thinking about how often they work and what they do while they're working. So the judge works daily because that is their job. Both of them help to decide if someone has broken the law. And the jury only works one trial at a time because remember, they're volunteers. That means that they don't get paid for their job. They are appointed to the jury. So they just work one trial until the next time they get called. I can take the information from the Venn diagram and I can use that to write. Because remember, we organize our thinking before we write, and that's what I've done. So I'm going to use those two jobs that I just put on the Venn diagram, and I'm thinking about how they're same and different. I've already done that for myself, and I'm going to choose the 3 most important similarities and differences. I only came up with 3. If you only come up with 3, that's okay too. But if you have more, you can just pick 3 of them. And then you're going to type your ideas or write them on paper and send a picture. So here's my writing. A judge and jury are the same in many ways. They both help in the courthouse. For their jobs, they use chairs to sit on while the trial is happening. They are both important to the community because they have a part in deciding whether or not someone broke the law. Judges and juries have things in common. In common means things that are the same. A judge and jury are also very different. Judges are paid for doing their job, but juries are made up of volunteers. Juries only work one trial at a time, but judges work in the courthouse daily. Judges use a gavel and are in charge of leading the trial, but juries sit quietly and listen carefully. A judge and jury are not exactly the same. So you can do your best to write about the jobs that you pick. How are they the same? How are they different? You can use the same sentence I started with, but with your jobs. So you can say, a blank and blank are the same in many ways. Then you can tell the ways that they are both the same. You can start your next paragraph with, blank and blank are also very different. So just do your best job and include as many details as you can. Make sure you stay focused on the 2 jobs that you've chosen.